Hello my lovelies, this is the Fox's Hideaway and my name is Kaylina. Welcome back to the show. And today we are just going to go over some of the astrology that's happening in July. You can go kind of all over on the internet and there's tons of different videos on this out there already, but I did notice that as I was kind of looking through some of them, a lot of them were like up to 2 hours long. And while yes, there's a lot of transits that happen, like even from just day-to-day basis, I kind of just want to cover the main basic ones because these are going to make more of an impact versus just, you know, a certain planet going through a certain sign on one day. You know, like, yeah, you may feel some of the effect of that, but these are ones that are going to be staying in that certain sign for a little bit longer than just a day. So here we go. Let's get started. So first up, we have Neptune, which is going to be in retrograde in Pisces, and this actually started yesterday. So I'm literally going to be reading from my handy dandy notebook over here, and then I'll probably just have pictures going on in the background, so you can just turn me on in the background, or if you want to watch the slideshow, go for it. But yeah, so Neptune is going to be in retrograde in Pisces until December 7th. So this is going to be a very slow moving planet, and we're going to feel the effects for a while. It's not to say that we're going to feel it every single day of our lives, but it's going to be a gradual kind of effect. So Neptune is a very dreamy planet, and it rules over mysticism, imagination, and oneness. So when it's not in retrograde, our reality and our dreams collide well together, giving us plenty of space for dreams, ideas, and visions of the future so that we can manifest them into reality. However, during a retrograde, reality tends to take the front stage. Retrogrades are good for reevaluating and taking more time to look within, and this will force us to look at reality with clear eyes. So yeah, I know the common expression is the rose-tinted glasses scenario, and that's very much the case. We are going to be taking those off, and we might have to face some hard truths. These hard truths may be things that we've been trying to just shove under a rug for a while, and we just don't want to face, but this is going to be the time to face those. It's not all bad, though. I mean, a lot of the times I feel like retrogrades, people tend to kind of freak themselves out and psych themselves out and think that they're going to be in for months of hell, but that's not the case. It's just giving us a chance to reevaluate and kind of refocus on what we really want so that we can set a really positive foot forward to our futures. A cycle brings with it clearing and ending energy, as Neptune is also getting ready to migrate out of Pisces and into Aries. And it's going to start a whole new 165-year cycle, which is a crazy long time for a planet to be any sign. Neptune is definitely, like I said, slow moving, bringing with it lessons of patience. So we also, at the same time, have Saturn in Pisces as well that is retrograde. And this is going to begin on June 27th and will continue until November 15th. This focuses on redefining boundaries. So learn your lessons, otherwise Saturn will continue to hound you until you change your ways. And I feel like I have definitely had that in the past, where Saturn's like, okay, you're just not getting this by doing it this way, so we're just going to make it harder and we're going to make it hurt more until you finally get the idea that this is not good for you anymore. So Saturn's energy may feel a little brutal at times, but it's always necessary to kind of help get you back on the right path. And it also helps you to prevent kind of self-destruction. It will force you to ask ourselves why we do what we do, as well as asking us to reflect on how we manage our responsibilities. So look inside and out. Signs of Capricorn and Aquarius are going to feel some of this a little harder as Saturn rules over those two signs. It's a time to face challenges and get stronger. Saturn can be known as the timekeeper, so how are we using our time wisely? Saturn and Pisces are basically opposites, so their thinking at times may feel a bit conflicting during this time because, on the one hand, we have Pisces, which is very like free-flowing and dreamy in a sense, and then you have Saturn, which is very grounded and disciplined, and so you're going to have that airiness being tugged by that groundedness of the discipline, which might be a little hard to maneuver at times. Next, you have Mercury entering Leo, and so this is actually a really nice spot for Mercury to be in because our communications are going to be just bolder as a whole right now. Leo really brings a center stage energy to everything that they do. So don't be surprised when people are openly sharing what they think. Remember, there is a time and place for everything though, and I've even seen that kind of already, I feel like, as that energy gets ready to kind of come forward. That even people at work have been slightly bolder lately in some of their opinions on what they feel should be going on, and so I'm like, interesting that I feel like some of that energy is already being put into place. Well, heck, that's why, because it started yesterday. I was like, I forgot to write the date on here. That's why. So yeah, that explains it. So Mercury will stay here for about the next 2 to 3 weeks. You may feel more lively during this time, get together with friends and have a good time. Leo is quite a lovable sign, and so you may feel motivated to speak from the heart. Plus, with just being naturally in Cancer season right now, everybody is a little bit more in their feeling, loving type mode, so that's really going to bring this out naturally. Leo embraces pure, authentic self-expression, so expect the energy to be thriving. How one conveys something might have a touch of a dramatic flair, as with a lot of what Leo does. There's never a dull moment with Leo, which is great. If you need extra confidence with any kind of like speaking endeavor right now is a good time to really embrace that and give it a go, because you're gonna have Leo backing up Mercury, and Mercury is all about communication. So you're going to have an extra dose of courage, as well as plenty of witty humor to go around. We also get passion, so drive into that artistic pursuit. That's another thing I love about Leo, is it's very artistic, very passionate. It encourages you to be authentic to yourself and to create something new. Next, you have your new moon in Cancer, so time to get comfy within your home and family life. A sort of domestic bliss is going to be radiating. It's also about inner contemplation and how we view the world. So get in touch with your emotions, which the moon is very comfortable in Cancer because that's the sign that it rules over. So you're going to be feeling the feels anyway, and it might be even stronger since we're in Cancer season as well. As with all new moons, it signifies a fresh start. So what can you do to make your inner self and family home a bit more safer feeling and just more comfortable feeling? You may feel a little more emotional than usual, and you may even feel things from like others, especially if you are empathic in nature at all. That is a high possibility. Treat yourself to extra rest if you need, especially since we don't realize how much like emotionally things can drain us, and so we might be feeling things heavily, and so we might feel more emotionally drained than usual. Be open with loved ones about what you need and vice versa. How can they help you to feel motivated, as well as how can you do the same for them? It's a good time to check in and just see where everyone kind of stands, but also be aware that this may bring some moodiness as well as impulsive reactions. So if you're one of those like naturally impulsive kind of people who just feel their emotions very quickly and very strongly, just be aware of that and maybe wait until the new moon energy kind of calms down a wee bit before like confronting people about different things. Especially if you're around somebody that just doesn't always react the best to something. So this is also a good time to connect with ancestors. This energy will also feel a little bit busy as it's forming a sharp angle with the north and south nodes, giving a destiny and fate type energy to it. So listen to your intuition. And I have felt that, especially today, with which I didn't even realize that, yeah, we're getting so close to the new moon, but today I just felt like something was going to happen. Like I couldn't put my finger on what it was. It wasn't like a bad energy, it was just a very energized, busy energy that I just felt like something was going to go down. So I don't know, that could be where that energy is coming from. So next you have Pallas direct in Scorpio. And so mysteries and wisdom will be revealed. There's an intense transformative energy to this. You're diving into the depths of the human psyche and it will feel very natural right now. Lean into and hone your intuition, find innovative solutions, connect with others on an emotional level. A time for uncovering hidden truths about healing, deep insight, resourcefulness, mysticism, regeneration, power dynamics, and emotional depth. And that is taking place on that's July 9th. So that's just around the corner where we might be feeling some of that kind of energy. And obviously with astrology, you take what you want, you leave the rest behind. Like, don't focus so much on everything that's being read that you completely let astrology dictate your life. And I appreciate when other people who talk astrology mention that as well, just because I think it's an important point to mention that just because these things happen doesn't mean it's completely controlling our lives. So just keep that in mind. Next, then you have Venus entering Leo, and that happens on July 11th. So romance takes on a bold, vibrant energy that will leave things very entertaining. Leos also tend to have a very passionate and sometimes a hot temper, so this may lead to a bit of drama if we're not careful. Also note your financial strategies as well as expenditures and investments. This might be a good time to look into that as well because Venus kind of goes hand in hand with that as well. Embrace your individuality and unique personalities during this time. Then we have Mars entering Gemini on July 20th, so you can see problems from every angle and you have the ability to solve them, but be aware of over-analyzing everything because this is going to put a delay in any progress that you're trying to make. Encourages new things, can make us feel restless at times, have an urge to do too many things at once, but not actually finishing anything, which after just coming out of Gemini season, I can 100% attest to that my Virgo mind was just going crazy in Gemini because it was like there were so many things I knew I needed to do, but my brain was just too scattered to accomplish anything meaningful. So I was failing. So good job to me. But fortunately, this will, shorter lived than a whole season. So try not to get overwhelmed. Try to keep yourself focused. There's plenty of energy to get things accomplished, so that is a good thing. And here, Gemini tends to give Mars a more effective and logical approach for fighting for our beliefs. Because as we know, Mars can get a little over the top at times, a little extra in the way that it handles itself. So Gemini kind of cools that down a little bit. Full moon in Capricorn happens on July 21st. So Cap is really great at being very hardworking and diligent. So if you've been putting the effort in, you may start seeing some of your achievements come into fruition. You might start getting that recognition that you really deserve. Significant changes may come about this in regards to our inner and outer lives. It's time to release defense mechanisms, which I feel like can definitely be a Capricorn thing. I feel like they are not always, they don't find opening themselves up to people particularly easy. I feel like there's definitely a harder outer shell that you have to kind of break through before you really get to know who they are as a person. Which, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. But now's a good time to start working on breaking those walls down a little bit, being a bit more vulnerable and allowing people in, because that's how you make meaningful relationships. So July 22nd, Sun enters Leo, and Sun is very happy here because the Sun rules over Leo. You're gonna have serious, like, main character energy is how it's described, and everything has like finesse to it. You find it easy to go after what you want, you do what brings you joy, celebrate life, and treat your inner child. Leo energy is refreshing. It's very nice. It's very playful, and there's a lot of loyalty behind Leos, and yes, they at times like the spotlight, but they just enjoy having a good time. And I feel like Leos are kind of like the footloose and fancy free kind of sign of the zodiac sign, which is nice before you get ready to go into Virgo season, which Virgos at times can kind of be, and I say this with the most love because I'm a Virgo myself, we can be stick in the muds at times, and at the same time we're very fun when we're around people that we know and when we're comfortable. But on the flip side, Virgos can be a little bit much. So Leo will be Leo's always very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's just a nice energy before you get into a bit stricter kind of energy with Virgo. Including a Virgo, Mercury enters Virgo on, forgot to write down the actual date, I just wrote that it's happening. July 25th, Mercury enters Virgo. And although Mercury is pretty comfortable in the sign because Mercury rules over Virgo, there is a retrograde creeping up, so this might make this transit potentially a bit more challenging. So try to keep your anxiety under control and keep a level head. Encourages us to keep an eye on what's most important, embrace self-improvement. We will be drawn to managing daily tasks efficiently, as well as paying attention to our overall health, look into all dimensions of it. So Virgos definitely rule over health, and that's kind of something that's important to them. And it's not to say it's not important to other signs, but Virgo does kind of take an interest in that. And Mercury is very much about communication. And so be sure that you're kind of standing up for yourself during this time, especially when it comes to health. Do what you need to keep yourself healthy. And don't be afraid to, speak your mind about what you need. Then lastly, I think this is the last one, maybe. Yes, lastly, we have Chiron goes retrograde in Aries starting on July 26th. This is going to be a time to stay more humble. Pick your battles carefully. You may be dealing with your own personal battles and ego during this time. This will affect Aries more than the others and will have everyone facing recent experiences, especially in areas that might have wounded your self-confidence. So let go of old trauma. Slow down, focus on your needs. You may feel the need to assert yourself, but might not know the right way to do it. It's going to put old wounds in your past so that you can heal them properly, restoring you back to the present. This retrograde may look into topics such as selfhood, independence, impulsivity, physical activity, masculinity, and self-assertion. So those are our main transits for July. And yeah, this video is going to be pretty short today. So if you enjoy astrology, be sure to give this video a like. I always appreciate that. And like I said, don't take everything like to the T super seriously, but just I personally find it helpful in my life to kind of be aware of the energies that are floating around, especially when then I can kind of look back after July and be like, wow, these correspondences that happened in my life really do fit with what was going on. And so it can help prepare you better for certain life situations. So I hope everyone has a fantastic 4th of July. Stay safe, be responsible, have fun, and I will see you next time for another video. As always, be kind, stay curious, and always speak your truth, and I'll see you later. Bye.